Let's see if this thing's working. Looks like it is. First time I've seen my face all morning, minus when I did my hair not too long ago. All right, it's Monday, and we're back at it for day 11, which is good, it's great, it's grand, and I say that because I got to go camping this week, and I got to get up and out of the heat of Bakersfield and got to go enjoy it. And that was a wonderful choice, getting out of Bakersfield. But you always come home on a Sunday and you're like, okay, school's today. Oh man, I need a vacation from my vacation. No, you don't. It's just tough getting that ball rolling, but once the ball's rolling, man, we're just gonna not stop moving it, if you know what I mean. Air conditioning is on a little crazy. After school today is a little fun thing called back to school night. And, dusty, dirty, make sure the recirculates on in the car. It's a wonderful thing when I, as a teacher, get to meet the humans that created all the wonderful kids that are in my class. And I say that to say the kids that are in my class are a product of the environment that their parents, guardians, family, whatever it may be, raised them in. And some of my hardest, toughest, most difficult kids come from the toughest home environment. And now I have been blessed with amazing parents and an amazing upbringing and a loving, caring home and supportive family and people that have breathed life into me. But it's just a crazy thing to realize that some of the kids that are in my class have never had an adult that has been a good role model, maybe in from my perspective, or has never had somebody kind of pour into them. And all that to say, if you come from a super tough environment, I just give it up to you. It's not easy. Again, every day you show up to my class, I'm just proud of you, because had I been in that situation, I don't know if I would have turned out as wonderful as you. And when I move around this little planet and I meet people that are completely different than me or think differently from me, I'm always like, maybe not always, I try to be like, I would be exactly like that human if I was born and raised in that environment. My hair is glowing. Look at that. It just kind of disappears in the sun. Don't look at that. I'll stay here. And that's a crazy thing to think about. I would do it probably exactly, and there's some people on this planet doing not so good things, and there's kids in my class that do silly things too. And so tonight I get to meet the parents that made these beautiful humans in my class, which is a wonderful thing. And it is so good for me to get the insight as to the kind of parents and role models you may have in your life. And so I got to go to back to school night last week, and it's always fun to see how other teachers do back to school night. And again, maybe a back to school night in high school is different from a back to school night for a first grade classroom. But all in all, my message to these parents is I stinking love having your kids in my class. I love the opportunity. I want to teach and treat, maybe treat, not teach. I want to treat your students like the young adults, basically adults that they are. And if I could Google search it right now, I totally would. What the heck is the definition of an adult? Meaning, when are you an adult? Some adults don't act like adults. Some kids are forced to grow up way too young and act like adults before I ever thought about it. And so, don't know why I said, oh, hey, because I tried to treat these kids like adults. They could drive next to me on this lovely freeway. I got to be able to trust them. And I got to care for them like the humans that they are. And we work hard, but we have a ton of fun. And that will be some of the message tonight. Of course, I got to talk about classroom procedures, all that fun stuff, get the parents on board, but it's always a good time meeting parents. I'm also a parent myself, and I'm also not necessarily, like, I love being around a bunch of high school kids. I don't necessarily want to, I will work with your parents, but if there's a problem in my class, you and I are going to figure it out in my class. I'm not going to try to call your parents and get your parents involved, man. You and I are going to, come up to a conclusion. And the crazy thing is that I am a parent. And the challenge that comes along with that is I have the wonderful opportunity to provide my kids the wonderful childhood that I was provided. And if you come from a world that is not as loving as you wish, or as caring or supportive or whatever it may be, you will one day get the opportunity to become the parents that you wish you would have had. Couple lifted trucks, and I know these trucks are from my school. These kids are jamming. They don't want to be late to school, and I love it. And that's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry you have to wait, but again, if you come from a place, please look to other wonderful adults that are doing what you want to be doing. Let me help you, guide you along the way, and bring your parents to back to school night. Force them to come see what I have you guys do. We get real, we get out of our comfort zone. Bring those parents, let them see what you have to endure in my class and in all your other classes, so that when they give you a hard time about being a minute late from break, you can be like, hey, parents, why don't you try walking from this class, using the bathroom, hitting the snack bar, dabbing up your friends from the other programs, and then getting back to classroom. Make them do it. I think a lot of parents forget what it's like to be a kid, because we just get old, and we do. And so bring them along. Let them see what you see, and let them know you want their support. But crazily enough, a year from now, I don't care what your parents necessarily want you to do. Not saying I don't care. Hold on. I think that you've been born and raised in another person's household, and you get the opportunity to figure out who you were meant to be. Moana, 1 or 2, I don't know. But for real, I don't want to go back to being in high school. I gotta do kind of what I want when I want, but I get that when you're in high school, you're kind of stuck under the rule of other adults that tell you what to do and when to do it, but you are so darn close from being able to Go wherever the wind blows you. And that's a scary thing, and it's a wonderful thing, and I think you should start preparing for it now, because some kids go wild and then they never come back, you know? So that is that. Bring your parents. Back to school night. It's Monday, beginning of the week. I'm counting on my fingers because I don't have a reason. Bring it along. It's going to be a good day. And I am signing off right before I get off on my on-ramp, because I want to. So, have a great Monday, y'all. Miss you already.